All right, guys, welcome back to Bodybuilding in Business, the business of bodybuilding. We are here with apparently it's Big Joe now. He's no longer Little Joe, and Justin Harris. So we got a few topics for today. First one's going to be dealing with investing, and then we're going to go a little bit into the Arnold UK, and then we're going to talk about something that's been going on a little bit via social media with some bodybuilders and dealing with professionalism while you are a quote pro and, in business as well. So we're going to let Justin kick it off, of course, with his business aspect and his brilliant mind. So Justin, take it away.
All right, I think the topic today was going to be starting an investment account, and this is something that's so simple to start. Most people don't ever have to start one. They get a job and they get a 401k, and that's where they kind of do it through. And really, the 401k, it's not a myth, but the likelihood that you're going to have a 401k and retire comfortably is really pretty slim. Historically, it was you got a job and you had a pension, and that was it. After you retired, your pension held you over. Well, that's gone the way of the dodo bird. There's no more pensions anymore. No one has them, and so the consolation prize was the 401k, and then with a 401k match. The problem with that is businesses or companies don't match your 401k very much or very well, and then the first thing they do in any hard times is they drop the 401k match. But you should be doing that. But you're not going to get great returns on a 401k. You're going to get 6, 7, 8% return. And then even if you put 20% of your income away, what people don't realize, you put 20% of your income away and you work for 30 years or 40 years even. If you retire at 60, 65, you might live 40 more years. Maybe not as a bodybuilder, but you're going to live a long time after. So if you're only putting 20%, if you're only putting 20% of your income away, and you're going to be retired as long as you worked, you can't expect to really live on more than about 20% of what your income was. And you think, well, the investment grows, but there's inflation. And right now, inflation's almost 9%. And so even if you're getting an 8% return, you're losing on that. So you really need to do your own stuff also. And it's incredibly simple to start. And actually a very, very simple one is if you have Cash App. Cash App lets you do a straight cash investment account, and you can buy stocks, you can buy ETFs, you can buy crypto. But what I would recommend is 90% of hedge fund managers and 90% of people who do this professionally for a living don't beat the S&P 500. S&P 500 is the Standard & Poor's 500 best companies in the world. You can invest in those companies. And there's some ETFs, they're called exchange traded funds, which are just like conglomerate investment accounts for, there's all kinds of, there's thematic ETFs and there's a bunch of different kind of things, but a very basic one is SPY, S-P-Y, which is the S&P 500. Or if you're through Vanguard, you can get the VOO, V-O-O, which is also the S&P 500. And it's just as simple as that. Put money in there, and you can do recurring investments. You can invest every week, every month. You don't need to do much. Anything you put in there is going to compound. And what I recommend, maybe not right now because the market's really down, but this is actually the time to do it. This is when wealth is created. Everyone was investing during the crypto boom of the last year or two. Everyone was investing in the stock market boom. They got their stimulus checks. They put their money in the stock market. That's not when wealth is created because the market's already overvalued at that point. And so, like the S&P 500 was up to 4,800 at the start of this year, at the very end of last year. It's about 3,700 right now. So it's down quite a bit. So all those people that are investing on the way up, they've all lost their money now. And now this is when people panic and they think, oh, this is terrible. The stock market, you lose money. I take my money out. This is when you start putting money in. It's the best time ever. You don't need to put much in. Another good one, if you're a little younger and you want something a little more risky, is the triple Q, QQQ, Invesco QQQ, and that's more the NASDAQ, which is more tech-heavy stocks. And that's your stocks that typically have a higher growth potential. But it's hard to invest, and it's hard. No one's got extra money. People spend the money they have, but you don't. What I do, if you invest in a safe fund like that, other than this year, now our generation, the kind of got screwed. There was I remember listening to a Peter Lynch talk from like 1993, and he was talking about of the four big bear markets since World War II, and I'm thinking 4 bear markets. We've had 4 bear markets in the last couple of years. We've had my generation. We got our first 401k right at the peak of the dot-com bubble. which that burst, we lost our money. We started becoming high income earners, and the 2008 housing market crash, the global, economic crash. We ate our lunch there. And then right during our high income years, we were in our peak income years in our mid 40s, we had the COVID crash and then the current crash, which is going to be probably a pretty ugly one for a year or two, if not longer. So we've really been kind of screwed. But typically the market always goes up. And if you invest in like a safe ETF like the SPY, you can almost treat it like a bank account. You put your money in there, and you don't put all your money in there, because if it goes down and you need some of it, you don't want to have to pull it out. But you put money in weekly or monthly or even daily, and you can just do it right in Cash App, put it in SPY, and it'll grow and it'll grow and it'll compound. And if it's extra money, you can be just your lunch. You can invest as little like $10 a week, $10 a day, and it won't grow very quick. But time passes, and 2 years passes, 5 years passes, and pretty soon you got $30,000 in there. That's compounding. And if you need that money, it's as simple. It's not like when you have like a Vanguard account or you're a money manager and you have a financial advisor and you have to go through hoops and everything to pull the money out. To pull the money out, you just click sell, and you sell 500, 1,000, 2,000, whatever your dollars, however many dollars of the stock you need, you sell, and it's in your bank in 2 days, 3 days. And so it's really just a bank. You can almost look at it as a bank account that's got a slow turnaround time. And it's like your savings account. Your checking accounts where your money is that you're going to need all the time. But rather than people put money in a savings account in their credit union at like 2% and just eat their ass on it year after year after year, where you could put it in, historically the SPY averages like 15% returns. And I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to do the math, compounding interest calculator, and to show you the difference. And you won't be able to see this, but I'm going to do it on my computer. Maybe.
So Justin, why do you think that they have just normal savings accounts anyway? If there's
I have no idea, because you used to be able to get a lot. It's because the banks want you to put the money in there, because the banks aren't stupid. They'll put it in there and they'll give you a 1% return. Yeah, they're investing it. They love when you put your money in there. They'll give you 1%. You think you're doing something like, oh, they're paying me 1% just to hold my money. Yeah, because they're making 15% a year on it. So let's say you have $1,000 and you do a monthly contribution. We'll just do simple $100, and you do it for 30 years. And if you put it in a savings account at like a 1% interest rate, you'll have $43,000 after 30 years, and that's $100 a month. Now let's put that in the SPY with a 15% annual average return for the same length of time, and you have $600,000. So you put that money in a savings account, and you're broke, or not broke, but you got $40,000 when you retire. What's that going to do? By the time you retire, that's nothing. You're not going to be able to buy a used car. Yeah. You put it in here, it's the same thing. It's it's a savings account. It's the money you don't expect to use. You can if you need to, but it's not like a checking account. It takes a couple days to get into your bank where you can actually spend it. But that's not the point. The point is to save it. And the difference, the exact same investment, $100 a month, over a 30-year period, goes from $40,000 to $600,000. And it's there's so many things like that. Like when kids that grow up with money or grow up around wealth, they don't understand. It's a totally different world, because they know all those things. They and they don't, like, their parents show them how to set it up, or they probably have trust set up for them, or it's part of their lexicon. It's not like the typical American grows up, get a job, put in your 401k, and that's it. They don't know how to make their money work for them. They never learned it. They never learned that income's, the shittiest way to make money imaginable. But what's even better is, why wealthy people don't care about inflation so much, and it's not just that they have so much money, it's that they know how to work money. And so if you have that $600,000 in that account, and we talked about a margin loan before, if you have that $600,000, if you take that out, you got to pay taxes on it. So you don't want to take that out, right? Especially when tax rates are really high. Well, you can borrow against it with a margin loan. Right now, margin loans are a little higher because the Fed's been raising interest rates. But last year, when the Fed rate was zero, you can get margin loans for 2%. And so rather than take the money out and pay 30% tax, you borrow against it at 2%. So it's free money. That's what wealthy people know what to do. They don't care about taxes. They don't care about income. They don't care about income taxes. They don't care about inflation because they know they have the money and think, well, why can I do that? Well, I have $600,000 in the account. So it's like going to a bank and trying to get a loan and they don't know if you're going to be able to pay it. They'll know you can pay it because they see the money in the account. And what will happen is if you don't pay your loan, you don't pay it back your monthly payments, and they'll take the payment right out of the account. But if you don't pay it back, they just do what's called a margin call and they take the money. So they have no risk for it. So they don't have to worry about giving you a large percentage. And so it's like it's things that like people who grow up with money just kind of understand. They understand T-bills, they understand bonds, they understand an investment account. Where the rest of us don't. We understand, track our money compared to a wealthy person's money. So person A, blue collar John goes in and gets a great job. He's making $100,000 a year, right? Well, he's only making about $60,000 after taxes, right? He's got to do his 401k. He can do a certain amount up before taxes, but let's say he does 20% of that. So he puts $20,000 away. Now he's only got $80,000, and then now he only makes 60% of that. So now he's got like $56,000. Well, now he's got to pay health insurance. Now he's going to put money in an HSA. By the end of it all, that $100,000 income, he's only making $45,000 of true money that goes into his bank account at the end of the day. And even worse, he takes $100 of that $45,000 and buys gas with it. And he's, gas tax. You got the gas tax, you got sales tax, you got sin tax if you buy anything like alcohol or tobacco. By the end of the day, only about like 20 or 30% of your money is actually your money. So you make $100,000, your nut is like $30,000. Well, if you're wealthy and you understand how money works, you have that $100,000. You don't have $100,000. First of all, most places will give you 2.5 times margin at a blink of an eye. So now you have $250,000. And then on top of that, that $250,000, the tax on that, if interest rates are low, is only a 2% margin tax. So now, rather than same $100,000, the person making $100,000 income's got like $35,000 of true money at the end of the day. The person with $100,000 in an account that understands how money works has $250,000 minus 2%, which is $220,000. The difference is like $35,000 versus $220,000. It's a world of difference, and those are the things that people you need an income because income's how you pay your bills, but an income is the worst way to make money because you are always losing. You're always fighting the government. You're fighting taxes. Every penny you make, they're taking a portion of it. And then after they take a portion of it, you got to invest some of it. And then after that, you got to buy your health insurance. You got to put some in an HSA account. You got, and then when everything you buy gets taxed on top of that. And so this is a way to kind of, you're not going to circumvent it. You're still going to, you still relying on income to generate the first level of money. But after you've made that income, rather than having it get eaten away by the government and taxes, this is the way you can kind of beat the system. And it's not even beating the system. This is the system. This is making your money work for you. And it's Cash App has it. I think. There's tons of feeless apps I think Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade's a good one. Interactive IBKR Interactive Brokerage is a good one. I think in one of the comments last time someone said M1. There's Robinhood, which I don't dislike. People dislike Robinhood. I actually like the graphs and stuff on Robinhood. The way they show options, the way they show level 2 market data is actually really intuitive on Robinhood. It's just kind of got a bad reputation. But there's tons of ways to do it, and Cash App's the simplest thing. There's one, what's it called, Wish or not Wish? There's another one where you can just round up all your purchases to the nearest dollar and it invest that for you. Yeah, but everyone should do it.
Oh, especially, it automatically takes it out.
Yeah. Because if you're not preparing for your retirement, you're going to be hurting because it's not, like $100,000 is great money right now. $100,000 in 20 years isn't $100,000 anymore. And you're always fighting against that inflation. Yeah. And you don't got to put a ton of money away, but small amounts like that, we just showed that the difference between putting $100 a month away into a savings account at 1% or a credit union and putting it in the S&P 500 is the difference between having $40,000 extra cash when you retire or having $600,000.
Well, did you recently because you do own a car wash also?
Correct. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So have you had to do anything recently with that? Do you want to talk a little bit about that investment, just in that?
Yeah, sure. I got a check on the kitchen counter right now for 99,000 for it. We're doing upgrades. Uh, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's that. Oh man, I lost you guys for a second. I think my internet connection's slow.
No, you're good. It looked like it went out for a second, but you're good.
All right. Okay, it's good. It says my recording might stop to let me catch up, but for some reason my internet's being crappy. So we'll see. Hopefully it holds up. But
Oh, no, we can hear you.
all right. But yeah, so
Yeah.
the car wash is a job. It's not. It wasn't an investment like the storage units. The storage units are mailbox money. The money comes in the mailbox or gets direct deposited. You hardly even know it happens. The car wash is a job, and ours is kind of nearing its completion. We've lost really the ability to claim depreciation on any of the equipment. Everything's depreciated to nothing. We've got issues with our weep system. So in the winter, you leave a weep system where the water trickles out of all the equipment so it doesn't freeze. Ours runs 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, which costs us about $800 a month. So we just got a loan. We're going to do about $135,000 in upgrades. We got a loan for 99,000 of it. Pretty good rate because we have a good relationship with the bank. But we're going to install a new automatic bay, a whole new automatic system, and then 4 new self-serve systems. But the big thing that we'll be able to do finally is have subscription service, and we'll actually be accepting Bitcoin payments. I don't know if anyone will use it, but I thought it'd be cool to have that.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. Yeah. So do you think that was a wise investment, or?
We're positive on it. We're net positive, and we'll be quite a bit net positive. It's just been a lot of work. I hired a property manager that kind of manages it now, which cuts into like really all our profit. But like we showed with that calculator, and I showed in a second video of my own. I can't remember what I named it, but there's another video where I actually showed the property calculator how it all works, and I showed that like our income's essentially zero now. But the thing with property like that is it's increasing in value, and real estate's really increasing in value. So right now, even if we are losing money and I have to put $500 a month or even $1,000 a month into the property, I'm not spending $1,000. I'm just taking that $1,000 and investing into this property because it's still growing in value. And eventually the mortgage is going to be paid off. And eventually, you'll have, like the property somewhere around it'll be a little over 500,000 in value when, like appraised value when we do these upgrades, and in 15 years that'll be around $1 million, and so it'll still have that value when it's paid off, even if it's me paying off the mortgage, even if we don't have enough car wash people, paying us enough to pay down that mortgage. And that's another confusing thing. It's like, how is it making money if I'm spending money on it? Well, it's not making me an income. It's building wealth for me, which is, a weird thing to get used to when you're only used to an income.
Especially when you have all of Team Troponin working at the car wash and
yeah, for free. Yeah, that's
you just do their programming for free, and everyone just works at the car wash.
No, they pay me for the programming, and they just work for free for the right to get.
Oh, they just work for free.
Yeah, it's warm water. I mean,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's hard to find people to work there.
That was definitely a good topic.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
That was good, Justin. I think that the way that people don't think about using Cash App or other things that are right at the palm of your hand.
Oh, so it's a click of a button.
Let me just put a little bit in there.
You don't even have to do it. You can automate it. You can have it from, so you get paid every Friday. You can have $25 every Friday taken out, or or $50 every paycheck. That's $100 a month. That's $600,000. You won't even. I mean, you'll notice it at first, but a couple paychecks in, you'll forget you were even doing it. And it's not. You don't lose it. It's always there. So if you get in a little trouble and you need that money,
how much is Netflix per month?
Oh, for basically the price of Amazon Prime.
Like $15.
Yeah.
There you go.
Amazon Prime's over 100, isn't it? 99 right now. Isn't that what Amazon Prime is? Something like that.
I'm quite sure.
Well, so yeah, I mean, but YouTube Red. Like, if you want to watch YouTube without commercials, it's like $80 a month for the price of that. I mean, it's not nothing, but it's something anyone can manage, and you're not losing it. You're just putting it aside somewhere. If you get into trouble and you need it, it's there.
Yeah. It's just interesting, man. Like, there's so many more opportunities for us to do this, so it's good we're talking about it. it's good that people can actually think about, because I'm sure some people are going to take away and be like, they're going to open up their Cash App and be like, well, damn, I didn't notice that before. So it's good.
Yeah, you can buy crypto on there, Bitcoin. I mean, the problem with Bitcoin is, it's interesting now because it's new, but it's purely speculative. You don't earn anything. Bitcoin doesn't make widgets. It's not a business. Like you buy the S&P 500, you're buying businesses that create things and build things that people buy. Crypto, you're just hoping that someone later on will want to spend more money for the coins than you did. That's really what you're doing. Now, there's some potential for utility, like with NFTs. Like NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain, there's probably.
I was going to bring that up. What do you think about that now?
Well, NFT. I mean, it's really like if you go to a football game now, or you get a flight, you have a QR code. That's essentially an NFT. So I can very easily imagine a time when when my grandkids get married, I can imagine their marriage certificate as an NFT on the Ethereum blockchain, and I think that's the utility that's going to come out of it. I think, birth certificate, marriage certificate, anything that needs to hold like some kind of ledger, some string of information that's in a permanent place that's going to be there forever, that other computers can access and tell whether it's correct or legitimate or not, And that's, really, I think in 50 years, we're going to look back and be like, we just carried our birth certificate in our mom's drawer, or we
in a safe or something.
We just had our social security card in our wallet. We'll think that's crazy because it'll be an NFT on the blockchain and it's there permanently forever. And even better, other computers can tell whether it's like legitimate or not, which is what you want because you avoid the human error.
Yeah, and man, that's actually, dude. I'm gonna sidetrack. Just for a little bit, because we do have a little bit of bodybuilding today. So if anyone's listening, we were, sometimes we mess around with each other, but we were talking about the worst fast food restaurant, right? So I think that we came to a conclusion. What did you guys think?
I think we said Taco Bell. And if anyone's curious, go Google what their meat looks like. It comes in like pellets, like dog food that they add water to, I think.
And you have to like water it or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe, what's up in Canada? What's the worst fast food restaurant?
Not Tim Hortons, that's for sure.
Tim Hortons is like my daily diet. No, I'm kidding. No, Taco Bell is probably the worst, man.
It really is.
Taco Bell or like Pizza.
Pizza. What? Oh, you talking about Little Caesars?
No, Pizza.
Oh, they don't have that here.
No. Do you guys not have Pizza?
No, we have the Little Caesars guy says pizza. But no.
Yeah, pizza.
Oh, I guess, yeah, we have that. It's like a really shitty, low-quality pizza place.
No, it's probably amazing after a night of drinking. Yeah. A little ranch, a little alcohol
poisoning. So it's probably good if you're drunk. That's about it.
Yeah.
See, I couldn't figure out if Taco Bell was like really bad or just every time I ate it, I ate so much that it was, not having a good.
Yeah, I mean, it tastes amazing, but Taco Bell and the shits are like ubiquitous. It's like even a joke. Even if they just, it's like a common slang term, like talking about, I got the runs from Taco Bell.
Yeah, like I wonder how much of that food is actually digested or actually nutritious. Probably bare minimum.
Bare minimum. Yeah, I mean, it seems like you could survive on it, but I don't know that you're going to thrive on it. I mean, I think it's probably, well, I always say with clients, when they'll stress about weird things, like they'll stress about like carb sources or something, and I'm like, look, you're eating chicken and rice or chicken and broccoli. No one's, or they'll talk about fruit being high in sugar. I'm like, no one's on my 600-pound life because they can't stop eating plums, but they are on my 600-pound life because they can't stop eating Taco Bell.
Yeah, man, that good old Taco Bell. When you get the Hodge twins doing their, I saw them do something with Taco Bell the other day, and I was like, man,
Taco Bell's good. I mean, it
looks terrible, but
it tastes good though. But I mean, there's no way that's good for you.
Wait, so hold on. If we have to do, all right, so topic of fast food, since we're not going to talk about this a ton. McDonald's or Burger King?
For Burger King, well, I don't know. 2 double cheeseburgers combined into a quadruple cheeseburger from McDonald's is pretty
From McDonald's?
amazing. Oh yeah, I mean, overall I'd say Burger King, but a quadruple
Okay.
cheeseburger, you can't go wrong.
All right, so we had slight interruption, but we were on McDonald's versus Burger King. Justin said two McDoubles is better than Burger
Not
King.
McDoubles,
Joe, what do
double
you think?
cheeseburgers, the 99
Double
cent
cheeseburgers.
ones. Yeah.
Well, they're not 90. I don't think they're 99 anymore. I think like $1.19.
Yeah, I'd for sure go McDonald's over Burger King, to be honest.
Haters.
There's just more options too, you know?
That's true.
Like you can go to McDonald's because like me, I like muffins and stuff too. So I'd like get a couple burgers, get some muffins, get some cookies.
Oh, so you like muffins, but you don't like pancakes. So every time I eat pancakes at breakfast, when you were down here, you guys were talking shit. Listen, dude, pancakes
Yeah,
are
but
awesome.
muffins are anabolic, man.
All right, whatever.
They are. That's been proven.
Whatever. All right. Well, I say Burger King. I like Burger King. I like that. Even if the flame broiled stuff is fake, I still like it. Still tastes good. Yeah. But all right, moving on from fast food. I'm sure our listeners were like, "No, what the fuck are they talking about?" But moving on from fast food, talking about professionalism in the sport. You know, it is a meathead sport. You know, there's a little bit of trash talk, even though we're not fighters. There's a little bit of trash talk. People say it keeps it interesting. We've got varying levels of competitors. Let's be honest, education levels, they probably vary. Some people are well spoken. Some people are probably a little more rough and from the streets type thing. So, you know, what are your guys' opinions? Joe, we'll start with you. What are you guys' opinions on keeping your page / persona professional, like i.e. a Jay Cutler, who during his whole career, the guy never spoke a bad word about anybody. I mean, he may have behind, you know, closed doors, but he was able to conduct himself in a manner that was profitable for companies and sponsors and always looked good. And, you know, even when guys would be flaming him on the boards, be like, well, he doesn't like his physique and this and that. And, you know, he's too boxy or this and that. Jay never said a bad word. He just kept grinding and eventually became, you know, one of the only Mr. Olympias to, you know, to win multiple titles and cement himself in that history. So what do you guys think about that, Joe? I'll let you go first.
Well, I think like being professional in all aspects, like in regards to, you know, like in the physical aspect of like being a bodybuilder with your, you know, your nutrition, your training, etc., and you know, being professional with that. But at the same time, like when it comes to like especially social media and what you're showcasing, like I think regardless, like you know, of what people are saying about you, like you gotta be professional about it. Like if someone's talking shit about your physique, or anything like that, it's like you kind of have to just brush it off and just, you know, take the higher road in that sense. And like even with what you post, like I don't really post much like personal stuff, you know, like I just post mainly bodybuilding, clients, and that kind of stuff. So it's like I don't post too much about my personal life. So it's like, I mean, you're not going to see me post stuff and be like, oh, I had such a bad day today, like, you know, couldn't go to the gym, blah blah blah. It's like you'll never see me post that. I'm just gonna post like what I want people to see, which is the professional aspect of, you know, being a bodybuilder or a coach or whatever you're trying to do. So I think it makes a big difference too, because like the way people carry themselves like that, I think kind of speaks volumes about them in general.
Well, and you see it nowadays where guys are like speaking about PEDs and open up. I mean, let's be honest, it's played out. You know, guys, stop trying to push the whole I'm open and transparent about everything. Yeah, everyone is. You know, like that's not going to make you special. Or it's like, look, no one's out here. I mean, there's maybe some people that are completely lying about it, but it's pretty obvious who's doing things and who's not doing things. And, you know, at the end of the day, if that's your only angle is to try to, you know, either start drama or be like, hey, you know, I'm going to tell you how to make this at home and, you know, Deca or whatever. It's like, dude, come on, man. There's got to be a better way to try to get followers and you know.
Yeah, well, like the drama, some people can pull it off. I mean, I don't even say drama, but you got like a Kelly Muscle or something. You know, some guys just have that personality. I think if you have it, you could play that card correctly. But a lot of guys don't have it is the problem. And when they try to, it really kind of comes off as contrived. You know, I could never do that. It's just I would feel like an idiot from minute one, and I think it would come across that way. The guys that can, you know, great. Trying to think who really can besides him.
Well, I mean, those guys aren't even bodybuilders. Like Kali competed a few times, but
Yeah.
you know, he never turned pro, and he never really made a career out of it. So, I guess speaking along the lines of more that guys who actually have a career, you know, and for instance,
King Kamali.
yeah, he was he was funny, man. Like him and Craig
he
Titus.
really pulled it off because I mean I think he had a great physique, but he was like a top 10 Olympia guy every year he competed, and I don't think. If I feel like if I had his physique with my kind of reserved personality, I don't know that I don't see myself having the same placings as him. So I think he really pulled it off properly, you know, in that arena.
Now, I know he did have beef with Titus, but I think
yeah.
a lot of those guys respected each other back in the day. It seems and there wasn't a lot of social media back then, right? So
No, nothing. Yeah.
now guys, like you would have to write an article or someone would have to do an article about you and you would have to say something. Like Sean Ray would have to say, you know, one of Sean Ray's training videos, like, you know, Dorian was taking food off my plate and he had a torn bicep and this and that. So he had time to think about it, of what he was going to say. You know, he still said it anyway, but he had time to think about it. Now guys on social media, you know, let's use it for example, you know, Martin Fitzwater and Nick Walker, you know, he wished sort of death on him, which was stupid and was very immature. And, you know, he lost some sponsors because of that. So, you know, that's an obvious thing where it's like, hey, man, maybe you got to be a little bit more professional in that aspect. And you can do whatever you want, but it's not necessarily going to be good for you.
Yeah, it's a tough line to toe. You know, that's the thing is if you do it correctly, you can get great exposure for yourself. If you do it incorrectly, it can really kind of ruin you as far as sponsors and exposure. Yeah. And I think a lot of guys, you know, I think it's partly the sport. You know, like guys, a lot of people come into the sport from some type of insecurity. You know, no one wants to admit it, but none of us wanted to, you know, be huge and strong because we were already huge and strong for the most part. You know, most of us were. For whatever, we were trying to change something about ourselves, even if it was just to get better in sports. You know, we were like trying to improve things about ourselves. So and I don't feel like insecurity is like, it's, you know, like there should be a better word for it, you know, because insecurity, as soon as you say that, you think like, you know, they like totally negative, but it's just, you know, like everyone wants to improve things about themselves. And I think a lot of guys come into it with some level of that and they try to project this like tough guy persona, which if it's contrived, it just doesn't come across correctly, you know, and it comes across wrong, you know. If it is your true personality, it can come, like Kamali can come off and be a great benefit. If it's not your true personality and it feels forced, you can really look like kind of a whiny crybaby, you know, and all the negative things.
Or too personal.
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
like you can't be too personal when you know when you're attacking other competitors. You know, or even wishing death upon someone. Like, man, relax, bro.
When like with stuff like that, I just picture my dad, like, my dad at the, you know, as a pipe fitter at the factory, you know, like, like other 40-year-old men, you know, like doing, like bitching about stuff like that. It just seems like, it seems really womanly. I don't know. I mean, I'm probably not allowed to say that anymore. But,
no offense to women. Yeah, I mean, but it seems like guys, their estrogen's a little too high. Maybe they should check their levels. You know?
Yeah. It's. I could just picture like, whenever I see stuff like that, I just picture my dad coming home from, you know, GM factory, you know, all sweaty, and you're like, yeah, Steve was a total jerk today.
Yeah, like you can't imagine it. You can't imagine.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Well,
and I don't think it plays well. I think it plays, you know, because I think it comes across that way, you know, and I think people see it that way. You want it to come across as like kind of a, I don't know, like a strong, tough kind of stance, but I don't think it usually comes across that way.
Yeah, agreed. That's you know, that being said, I think Fitzwater and Andrew Jacked, I believe, are both doing Arnold UK. Joe, do you?
I don't know that story. Also, I don't even know that story, so I don't want to. I don't want to get in the middle of it. I don't even know what the story was, so I'm probably talking bad about someone that I don't even know I'm talking bad about them, but I don't have any personal issues with any of the guys we've talked about so far.
Yeah, no, we're not. I mean, we're not taking personal digs. Just speaking in general, I know that Fitzwater and Walker had a thing, and Nick sort of ignored it, and then Fitzwater and Andrew Jack had a thing, and because it's all public and they put it out there for everyone. It's like we got to be okay with people talking about it if you want attention. So
it is
but
a way to get your name out there, and it's. But I always think like you never heard Michael Jordan bashing other, like it's as a general rule. You bash people above you, and so whenever I feel, whenever I hear that happening, that's my first thought is like you're from a psychological standpoint, you're viewing that person as above you, because you don't bash down, you don't bash some local competitor, you don't, like Michael Jordan isn't out there dogging people's basketball game, because he was Michael Jordan, Yeah. Tom Brady's not out there like saying some quarterback's got a shitty arm. They just Tom Brady, you don't need to.
Yeah. Well, leading into the next topic was that Fitzwater and Jacked or Andrew. I don't think that's his real name. Andrew Jacked. I doubt it. But
it's pretty cool if it is.
Yeah. But they're doing the Arnold UK. Who else is doing it? There's another guy who's been.
I have the list right here actually.
All right. Who's doing it?
It's so they got Andre Muzi, Andre Presti, Chirac Alfred, never heard of that guy. James Hollingshead, Jamie Christian, Joel, Lionel Bayaki's apparently doing it.
Oh, that'll
Mark
be cool
Hector,
to see him, man.
Rob Cannon, Theo Ligurier, I don't know how to say his last name, but I competed against him. Martin Fitzwater, Hassan Mustafa, and Joseph Kvetin.
Hassan's doing one again. Isn't he qualified already? He won at show or two, right? I think he won Puerto Rico. Right?
He's on the list, and they just posted this. Yeah. Like, actually, this is from June. I don't know if that's accurate.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it'd be cool. I mean, you guys remember Lionel's physique?
He's God, like the guy that everyone just hoped like finally pulls it off. I don't know that he's ever. I'm not sure what happens, but I feel like he's always. I feel like he typically gets the placings more or less he deserves because he's just slightly off. There's something that's not quite there, and I think he feels like he gets ripped off every time. And so I feel like whenever I see that, like the hardest thing in sport is self-assessment. When you lose, yes, sometimes you get screwed, but there's, like you should always be able to say, okay, why did I lose? Maybe I disagree with it, but the judges saw this, and I feel like he hasn't made the changes that, like it's always, he needs to be a little crisper, a little sharper, and I think a little fuller too.
How many years has it been since he's competed?
A lot, long enough where it should have been corrected by 6, now. Right? Oh, more than that, I think. Yeah, I want to say he was competing for sure as a pro in 2015, wasn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He'd been pro since like 11?
Lionel's been a pro for a while.
Yeah. It's got to be like a decade at least. Yeah. So, I feel like, I would love to see him finally pull it together, come in shredded, because it sucks because he's so round, but he doesn't come in full. It's like, how is that possible? Like, how can you be that round and not full? But, and I think if I had to guess when that happens, at least a possibility is that, like the saying, you need to be flat and prepped to be full on stage. You have to kind of over diet and be flat, and that allows you to really push the fullness the final week. And if you don't do that, and you're not, all the way lean, then what you have to do the final week is kind of push the dryness, which leaves you flat, and you still can see that you're not in full condition. That's like the hardest thing is you have to like be small and prep and be like over diet and do all the things that make you think you're screwing the pooch and you're going to come in too small, but that allows you to push the fullness in the final week.
All right, guys. So, let's do a little bit of let's do a top 3, right? Because some of these guys, more European and people may not know who they are. So let's do a top 3. Joe, you go first for the Arnold UK, then Justin, then I'll say mine.
Okay. Is Andrew Jack doing it? I think he is.
I'm pretty sure he might not be. Let's just say, let's do it with him in it.
Okay. Top 3, I would say will be Andrew Jack, Fitzwater, and Hollingshead.
Oh.
I've got the same three, but I think Bayeki and Fitzwater are going to be tight.
Bayeki's like a wild card.
Yeah, if he's on, he could be all the way in, like fighting for first. But if he's off, he'll be out of the top 5 even.
I have Andrew Jacked,
Yeah.
Hassan Mustafa, and oh god, if Bayeki's there, I'm gonna have him in there. If he's not, if he's not there, then oh god, say it again. Tell the list really quick. Like first names.
Well, basically, like I'll say the ones that matter. So there's Hassan Mustafa, James Hollingshead.
Oh, Hollingshead,
Andrew
Hollingshead.
Jack, Fitzwater.
James Hollingshead.
Yeah.
I like Hollingshead. I think everyone likes him. He's just kind of got that blue collar, work hard, kind of
Local.
Plus, you gotta remember he's from the UK, and the show's in the UK. So
the UK.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a backyard show then.
UK bodybuilding scene is so much better than the American scene. They're cool as hell. They're all buddies. They're all like self-deprecating. You know, like the way guys joke about, joking about each other having small dicks, but they're just stupid shit. That's what they do over here. Where in America, we're all like bitchy at each other, like little girls.
Was it?
Yeah, like I did the Arnold's UK last year. It was pretty cool to meet the guys like in the UK. Like a lot of them were really, really, really cool and really friendly and easy going.
Totally different atmosphere from American bodybuilders.
How was it when you coached Luke?
Oh, dude, he was awesome. He is so awesome. I got so many, like, so much video and stuff that I don't think I'll ever post. Like hanging out with him at the Arnold and just shooting the shit in his room. He's fucking hilarious. That like really hurt. It sucked when he did that. Because he was just.
In case our viewers don't know, we're talking about Luke Sando. So Justin was able to coach him to professional level.
Yeah, he was
Justin
awesome.
helped turn him pro.
Yeah, he was awesome, dude. I mean, just like, which is what always happens, like the guys like that, those are the ones who kill themselves, and it's like, like tears of a clown type deal, like make everyone else happy. But when he was with Carly at the time, they were just a fucking riot. Hang out, the one Arnold I did with him, we just hung out in his room because he was just hilarious, just always joking. I did a check-in at like 4 a.m. and I'm like dragging ass, and he was just cutting jokes then, and just a monster. He was 278 the day before the Arnold that year. I have a photo of that I lost, I think, of him on the scale. We were really pushing the fullness because he wasn't quite as lean as he needed to be, and so we thought, well, fuck it, let's push the fullness. But I mean, he didn't do well at that Arnold, but that was like the time when everyone I think thought well, this dude could do something, and he came back the next year and took third in sharper conditioning. He wasn't with me then, but he was just a really cool dude, really like hilarious. And just super nice. Yeah, just a fun guy. I miss him.
Yeah, it just seems like they, like you said, like they joke around a little bit more. They don't take it as seriously. Like they enjoy it. But I mean, for instance, Hollingshead, he's putting up lots of video of him like inline skating, like rollerblading at the park and doing tricks and stuff like that and grinds and flips and which is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, that body weight, that's ballsy.
Yeah, he's how tall is Hollingshead, Joe? Is he like 5'7", 5'8"?
He's taller than me, man. He's like almost.
Really?
He's about 5'11", 6 foot.
Really? Yeah, because he doesn't look when he takes photos online. He looks like he's more like 5'7", 5'8".
Yeah, he looks like Luke was short. Luke was only like 5'7", maybe 5'8".
Yeah, because I competed against Hollingshead when I won my pro card. And he's like a little bit taller than me, I think.
Yeah, because you're 5'10", 5'11", something around there. That's crazy. He's almost 6 feet tall. I didn't know that.
Yeah, big boy.
Wow. Yeah, the Hollingshead is definitely top 3 then. I didn't know that. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I guess we're all just gonna have to wait and see if Bayeki what he shows up in. So that'll change a lot. But
if he shows up,
he won't have to travel as far. Doesn't have to worry about that. I think he's gone on record as saying travel fucks him up, so he won't have that.
Yeah, so it should be a good show. That's we'll just have to wait and see and we'll let you guys know on the next podcast if we were accurate or if we weren't. So I'm just gonna probably wrap it up there, and for another episode number 3 of Bodybuilding Business of Bodybuilding. Next week, we will also have a new topic of business that Justin's going to go into. And wait, is it Arnold this weekend or next weekend?
This weekend.
This weekend, okay. And then so we'll recap the Arnold
All right.
and how everyone looked next week. So thanks you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.